Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome back once again. Today we're going to be taking a look at another new offering from Jack Wolf Knives, my favorite slip joint manufacturer, and the brand that got me into slip joints to begin with. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that a few months ago I did a review on this knife sitting right here. This is the Big Bro Jack, and today we're going to be focusing on the Little Bro Jack, which is just a smaller sized version of the already popular Big Bro Jack. And as I put them here, pivot to pivot, you see that there is a little bit of a size difference. And I think this video is more going to serve people that are wondering what the side-by-side comparisons are in the size, in the feel, and things like that, more so than getting to know the brand, because I've done a lot of videos on Jack Wolf knives, and really there are no flaws to them, really, to be told. So it's not really much of a review, but more of a presentation of here's what's coming out now. Here's what I'm currently excited about, and this is why you should be too. Now, if you already own a Big Bro, you probably already love the knife, you love the pattern, you love the way it feels. And if you've ever felt, I wish there was a slightly smaller size of my favorite pattern, that's what the Little Bro is all about. Now, the Little Bro was supposed to come out several months ago, but there was a little hiccup in the manufacturing. I believe it was in the covers. They had an issue with not getting the covers either cut correctly or finished correctly, and Ben rejected them, sent them back, and said even though this is a highly prioritized model and people are expecting this, the community, the fan group are all going nuts for this, I'm still going to delay it because it's not 100% perfect. And Ben, the owner of the company, Benjamin Belkin, is as much of a knife collector as he is a knife producer. So he knows how it feels to get a knife and it doesn't quite live up to your expectations, and he doesn't ever want to see that happen with one of his knives. So instead of just taking the quick cash grab and putting the knives out there somewhat subpar quality, he waited months to release a knife that he had already announced was going to be being made, at the risk of disappointing people, just to make sure that the knife itself was perfect so that he doesn't disappoint them in that way as well. So let's start off by talking about the sizes of both the original Big Bro and then the smaller Little Bro, and then I'm going to break out into my personal thoughts and review. We shall start, however, with the packaging, as always. If you're unfamiliar with Jack Wolf knives, you're getting into a modern, as it says on the box, modern interpretation of timeless designs. You're taking that old school slip joint and bringing it up into the future, making it something modern with modern materials, modern design work, modern flavors as far as the finishes and the color choices and whatnot. And it's also reflected in the packaging. While the classic kind of tube-style packaging is here, it is brought to life with incredible artwork. And this artwork here, I believe, was also done by Sean Tiffany. And inside, you get everything that you need. Now, I'm not going to belabor this because I spend a lot of time on the Jack Wolf packaging on every model that comes out because I think it's a great way to package your knives. So you get the pog there with the artwork, you get your microfiber cleaning cloth, you'll get some stickers, and mine wanted to stay stuck inside of the tube, but you always get a couple of stickers with the same artwork as you see on the tube, and you will get a slip. And there is a lot of added value with the slip, as I always talk about. And yes, I actually label the insides of mine because after you carry a knife in the slip long enough, what it will do is it's going to shape itself to the shape of the knife. And I like to be as consistent as possible. And now that I have so many Jack Wolf knives, I like to keep it as consistent as possible. So there is the leather slip to protect the knife while you're carrying it. And now let's talk about the differences, the sizes, and why I feel the Little Bro has an absolute place in your collection. Okay, first off, when you're looking at either one of these, since they are the same pattern, they're the same shape, they're the same design, you're looking at a sleeve board pattern design. I'll go ahead and pop the Big Bro open here. And you'll see that it is shaped like the sleeve section of the ironing board. For those that have ever used an ironing board, you know what that is. And if you're wondering why this is sitting here, it's because in a previous video I promised I'll be getting to this shortly. I just wanted you to know I have not forgotten. I will be getting to that amazing mosaic Damascus knife very, very shortly. Anyway, back to this. Now, you've got a few different options in the covers in the Little Bro, and I'll pop some pictures up on the screen here. I chose to go with the Flow Party because it's cool. It's got some great colors in it. It's unique. It's different. And while all of the choices this time around looked very, very tempting, this was the clear choice for me. Now, I don't own a blacklight, but if you were to shine a blacklight onto those covers, the brighter colors, like the lime green, the orange, the pink, they'll actually glow under the blacklight. They don't glow in the dark. They glow as a reflection to the blacklight. They're blacklight activated. All right, so now size-wise, on the closed length, you're looking at 3.54 inches, whereas the Big Bro, you were looking at 3.9 inches. And it doesn't sound like a big difference, but as you see, if I can keep these straight, it is quite a substantial difference. However, it's not going to feel like a substantial difference in the hand. You're still going to get a full handhold on the Little Bro. Blade length on the Little Bro is 2.67 inches versus 2.98 inches. And again, that doesn't sound significant, but here we are, blade to blade, lined up at the pivots. Do a better job lining that up. And you see that it is a difference, but it's not enormous. It's significant. There is an actual difference. And if you're wondering, well, how's it going to feel in the hand? Here's the Big Bro. And obviously, I've got a full grip on the Big Bro. I've got some stuff on it. I do use my knives. So you've got a nice full grip on here, not quite as much as you would have on, say, the Vampire Jack, but good full-size grip. And you would think, with as small as this looks in comparison, that I wouldn't here on this one, but I do. 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 fingers right on there. And it still feels really, really good. It's confusing to try to put into words because it does feel smaller, but it doesn't feel worlds smaller. But it's enough of a difference where if you were trying to decide between your knives to carry for the day, and you're thinking, well, I really love the clip point nature of the Big Bro. It's a great cutter. It's got great action. There's everything that I love about it. But I kind of want to go a little smaller. Then I'll grab the Little Bro. But it's not so small that it feels like it isn't up for the same tasks that the Big Bro is. It still feels like a full enough blade to do whatever cutting may come your way, but it doesn't feel in any way cumbersome. Also, if you're wondering, they have the same exact blade stock thickness. That was not scaled down to match the length differences. You're looking at 120 thou thick. So again, in that size, you're looking at very, 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 very slicey. It comes down to a very slicey edge on that deep hollow ground blade. It's S90V. And it doesn't play too thick, doesn't play too wimpy and thin. Although the tip is precarious. Do keep that in mind because there is a top swedge on there as well, so it gets very, very narrow down toward the tip. Not that you should ever be prying at things with a pocket knife or a knife at all. You're certainly not ever going to try to pry anything with this more delicate tip. I was asked the other day on Facebook, why didn't you buy the matching covers? Because this was available, the Little Bro was available in the Nebula covers as well, just like the Big Bro. And I went, that was the first thought that popped into my head was I kind of wanted to have the matching set. But, man, I really, really dig the colors that are in this. Very cool, very wild, very vibrant. Definitely one of my favorite color choices in the camo carbon lineup. Just looks great. Really, really does. Anyway, enough on that noise. Come on. It's so hard to get those to just sit on a flat surface. Because if you barely bump it, thanks to the contouring that they put into the frames, they just kind of want to just spin around. So, as with all of the recent releases from Jack Wolf Knives, you are getting into S90V steel. The entire frame is done in matte bead blasted titanium, and that dark gray of the matte bead blasted titanium really looks good up against the shinier belt satin finishes of the hologram S90V blades. The weight differences, I forgot to get to that. The Little Bro, 2.1 ounces versus 2.6 ounces on the Big Bro. So again, it's not a huge, huge difference, but it is a very noticeable difference that pretty much everybody's going to pick up on as soon as they touch the knives and hold them in comparison. I don't really have a favorite between the two, because visually they're the same except for the carbon fiber choices. But I will say this. While I've never had any issue with opening any of my Jack Wolf knives, the pull on the Little Bro is really, really nice. It's not too hard. There are a couple of the Jack Wolfs that have a much significantly harder pull. And this is kind of middle of the road. It's hard enough to keep it closed, obviously. It's hard enough to hold it in the half stop position. But it's not ridiculous. Doesn't feel like a finger breaker at all, because there are going to be some people that won't be able to pinch and grab. I'm able to just fine on this. There's enough of the blade exposed that I don't have to use the nail nick. And I know some people do not like using the nail nicks. They want to be able to pinch and open. And you can do that with this. But it doesn't feel like it's going to rip your fingernail out if you happen to do that. The walk and talk sounds great. Just about as good as the Big Bro. Big Bro has a bit more snappiness to it. It is a little bit louder. Now the sleeve board pattern is also called a boy's knife. I'm not a big fan of that particular name. This is kind of like I guess you could call it like a Boy Scout knife. Boy Scout knives, I think they would generally have, multi-blade knives, or maybe even getting into something like a Swiss Army knife. But this is a good size. If you do have a younger son that's getting into knives and you want to kind of get him into something like this, this would be a great choice to get into, a smaller version of the one that you already love. And then I guess it would more appropriately fit the boy's knife theme. It's simple, it's clean, it's classic, looks great, feels great, cuts very, 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 very well. As a matter of fact, I just opened a couple of packages that arrived today with this knife just because it happened to be the one that was in my pocket. Every time a new Jack Wolf arrives, it ends up in my pocket pretty much immediately. I'll photograph it so that it doesn't have any marks on it or anything ridiculous, and then it goes pretty much straight in the pocket. And I love everything about them. There's only so much I can really say without being overly repetitive from video to video, but the quality is always fantastic. The fit and finish, the feel, every small little detail is thought out. The only thing that I wish, and this is something that that Ben can take and run with if he agrees with me, but there is a harsh edge. I don't know where this bug is coming from that keeps flying underneath my lens here. Sorry about that, guys. There is usually a harsh edge right here at the spine that I do wish that they would just kind of knock off a little bit. Nothing significant. They don't have to put a big chamfer on it or anything, but just knocking it off a little bit, because if I really try, I don't even really have to try, but as you can see, just doing this with my fingers, and my skin is very dry right now. There's some skin coming off there. It doesn't take much, but I can probably peel some of my thumbnail off on there yet. So it does get, they do get a little bit sharp there. It's not just this model. It's pretty much every Jack Wolf. So I wish there was just a little bit knocked off there. But that's really about the only complaint I've ever had about any Jack Wolf knife, because they've always just been so perfectly done and really beautifully designed. This is as modern as it gets, but you've got, an 80-year-old design probably sitting here. Yet it looks every bit as modern as anything else you might put into your collection with modern materials and things like that. So, as always, Jack Wolf knocked it out of the park once again, and I'm glad to see it. They finally got the little bro out there. A lot of us were highly anticipating the release of this about 4 months ago, and it's just been delayed, and now we finally have it here. They're accessible. They will be available for release at all of their authorized dealers on November 17th at 2 p.m. Eastern. And if you don't know which dealers are carrying them, you can just go to jackwolfknives.com, and they have a whole dealer listing right there. And you're able to pick whichever your favorite dealer is, click on the link, it'll take you straight to it, and you can purchase whichever version you want. Now, I did notice that both myself and Kevin got the Flow Party. Kevin left the EDC. And that probably means Flow Party is going to sell out first, just because if both of us fell in love with it, it probably means a lot of other people are going to as well. So if you want the Flow Party, and honestly, I would say if you want the Nebula, you should probably get in very, very quickly as soon as they drop, because I think those two are going to be the ones that go the quickest. Flow Party is a brand new color from Camo Carbon. It's completely brand new for Jack Wolf knives. And a lot of people that own the Big Bro Jack, if they got it in Nebula, they're going to probably want to match theirs up. That does make a lot of sense. So I think those two are probably going to be the first to go. So either way you go, good luck. I hope you're able to get the one that you want. Thank you for joining me as always, and I'll see you on the next video, which will hopefully be the Reich, because I've been so anxious to get this one done. I really, really, really want to get it done, as I think you can probably tell. Anyway, I'm out of here for now. See you guys then.